Hi, my name is Stephanie Roese. I'm the author of the workbook Unseen Scars, a self-help guide to heal from emotional neglect, gaslighting, and narcissistic abuse. Today it looks like we're going to be sitting here with Channing. He's one of my crew. I wanted to discuss who this workbook is for. And I guess first and foremost, I'll point out the obvious. If you're a crazy cat lady like myself, yeah, you might you might find this workbook to be helpful. My cats are they're my healing companions for sure. All right, so let's talk about who this workbook is for. I'm going to read an excerpt in a sec, but I do want to tell you, this book might appear like it's written for women. It was written by a woman, but when you really deep down dig into it, I see a lot of my customers are actually men, and I have some wonderful reviews from men about how this has impacted them favorably. So it is for men and women. It is for anyone who's suffered from a toxic relationship. It is not important whether or not your abuser was ever diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder or with really any personality disorder. It's about how they made you feel. It's about the language of abuse. And it's so tricky and covert and backhanded and sneaky. So we're really going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the covert tactics. I cover over, I think, 30. At least 30 of them are mentioned in this book that are being used. And all you know is that something don't feel right. But it's like you can't quite put your finger on it. Well, you will be able to once you read this book. We talk about the psychology of your abuser and how that affects you, how that breaks you down, and literally it breaks down your identity. We talk about that. We talk about codependency. We talk about trauma bonding. We talk about setting boundaries. I give you scripts, tremendously powerful scripts that keep you centered and grounded, and speak respectful to them so that the conversation does not escalate, does not need to escalate. I have 23 guided exercises in here. So you're going to do a lot of reflection and you're going to start to connect the dots, and it's going to be so powerful. We're going to talk about how to release the anger and the grief. We're going to talk about reclaiming your identity. There's so much in this workbook. It covers all stages of healing. So no matter where you are in your journey, first of all, what I've learned is healing is not clean. It's not a straight linear line like, okay, do this, this, and this, and that. Yeah, boom, you're graduated, you're done. There's a lot of loop-de-loops and a lot of things in between. But once you go through this workbook and you connect all the dots, you'll recognize that, and you'll be able to cognitively reframe in a way to keep you from those vicious, awful thoughts you've had about yourself because of the bullshit that someone else has fed you. So that's what this workbook is for. And I really just wanted you to know that. It's available on Amazon, and you know what? The reviews speak for themselves. So I'm not really trying to sell it other than say, get your ass over there, check it out, read the description, read the reviews, see what you think. I have it available in every freaking format you can imagine, so it should fit everybody's budget. Literally, ACX. I've got it in Kindle. I've got it. This is my budget, black and white, interior, very inexpensive. I also have it in color. Ooh. I'll remove that. I also have it in color, soft cover and hardcover for the super high-end, fancy schmancy gift givers that want to give a beautiful workbook. But anyway, I'm done rambling. Thanks for joining me on this little conversation today about who this workbook is for. Bye.